My guest is Stephanie Doornekamp, owner of Access for All. So glad you're here today. This is so interesting to me.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me about Access for All.
Access for All we're a small construction company, and we modify people's homes so that they're more accessible.
So the whole point of aging in place.
Correct.
Yeah. I think it's really good timing for you. I'm thinking back to the pandemic. If anybody was hard hit during the pandemic, it was the senior population, particularly the ones who were in, I won't say institutions, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
nursing homes and retirement homes and so on. They were the hardest hit in this, and I think a lot of us went, oh, keep me out of those places. So your timing is perfect, really, when you think about it, to be getting into this kind of business. Yeah. So you go into people's homes,
Yeah.
and what sort of things do you do for them?
So typically when I go into someone's home, they already have an idea of what they want done.
Okay.
So I just come into their home and I ask them, okay, what do you need done? And I just listen to them and observe them. And so different types of things that I have done, for example, is putting in steps with a lower rise. So there'll be more steps, but less height for people to walk up. Another example is modifying a shower that had a large step to a shower that is what we call curbless. So there's no form of barrier to entering the shower. And you can also move any sort of wheeled device into the shower as well, and there's additional supports on the walls. So those are two examples. Some other things that you can do are moving your laundry facilities up to the main floor so that you're not walking up and down the stairs. That's not as much of an accessibility issue, but more practical in terms of not exposing yourself to the stairs all the time with your hands full and having needless hazards.
Well, isn't that one of the rules, is always have one hand free to hold on to the handrail, even if you have to make more than one trip? Isn't that kind of a...
it's a good idea.
Well, yeah, it's one of those kind of rules that we should be, we should mention you are a qualified carpenter. I mean, this isn't just someone coming in and giving advice. You actually roll up your sleeves and you do the work.
Yeah, so I'm not a licensed carpenter. However, I've been on the tools with my dad since I was about 14. I've worked with a number of carpenters over my career, but I have been on the tools for over 18 years, doing renovations. I've done some heritage restorations. I've done masonry work, deck building, managing larger projects on a larger scale, and so yeah, I'm hands-on.
Exactly. So you kind of know what you're doing.
Yes.
Sometimes it's moved into, and I just went through this. So I moved from a 2-story house. I thought, do it now.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I did, because this was overwhelming and it was hard work and all the rest, and I'm glad I didn't wait until it was really critical that I make this move. It seems that 1-story houses are all mid-century. You know, they were 2-story back in the day, long time ago, and now they're 2-story again, but there was that window of opportunity in the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these houses have never been upgraded.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you would say, you know, if you only have a certain amount of money or a certain, this is really what you should be doing with it?
I just want to touch on the one thing first that you'd mentioned about doing the renovation ahead of time and about being proactive.
Okay.
And that's really important. It's important that we look at our spaces before they need to be, before we're at a critical stage where they absolutely must change for us to stay. So that's really important, because by the time that we've, say we have an injury or something, it's very stressful, and that's not the time you want to be renovating your home. So being proactive is really important. I would say some of the most important things to consider are the entry points and exit points of your home. So your front door, your back door, places where you're moving up and down stairs, making sure you have the adequate handrails. Doorways. So making sure the doorways are wide enough. So in the future, if you were ever to need a walker or some sort of mobility device in the home, that it would allow for that to move through the doorways. Many of those homes with bathrooms have like 24-inch doorways, 20 to 28-inch doorways, and that's really tight. In terms of safety, the most important room to consider safety is the bathroom.
I think bathtubs are dangerous. You know, every time I
Absolutely.
think just that whole thing about getting in and out of a bathtub could be like really, I mean, downright dangerous. And when you live
Yeah.
alone, it's even more so.
Yeah, so if you are getting in and out of the tub and that's your only option, ideally you have a bit of a lower tub, but you also have grab bar supports as you climb in and out of the tub. And sometimes it's not always simple just putting a grab bar in a wall because there's not the adequate supports behind the wall. So it becomes a bit more extensive to add the proper support so it'll hold the weight. I'm just thinking of some other options for your house. I think those are the most important, kind of off the top of my head.
One I heard from a number of sources was in your kitchen is drawers instead of cupboards, so that you're
Yeah.
able to pull out drawers to get at pots and pans and things and not having to get down and
Yeah.
dig into the back of a cupboard.
Yes, that's correct. And also, many kitchens have uppers and lowers, and oftentimes the reach will be difficult. So having more lower cabinets with those pot drawers or easy sliding drawers to access is good. And also elevating your dishwasher. So
That's a thought.
as time goes on and bending gets more difficult, just to elevate your dishwasher so that when you're loading and unloading, it's not as hard on the body.
That's a thought.
Yeah.
And even though you might have an extra bedroom, you could turn that into maybe a bathroom, a laundry room. And the whole idea is that you get to stay and age in place, that you're not, someone else is not making your decisions for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not going to reach that point, and now what are you faced with?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to keep all those things on the main floor is ideal. So if you have a spare bedroom that could act as a laundry, for example, or whatever you may need, so that you can live all in one space and move freely throughout that space is ideal.
Without the stairs, going up and down the stairs, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, especially if you live alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the finances, you'd say, oh boy, that's going to cost some money. I have a very good friend, she's in her mid-80s and has lived in her own home for over 40 years. And she told me once, and I really never thought about it this way, but she said, I can pay somebody to shovel my snow, cut my grass, and do my housework, and still cost me a lot less than a senior's apartment would cost me.
Yeah.
And most people don't think in those terms. They think of, well, I'd have to have things done. I'd have to start paying people to do things, but do the math.
Yeah, at a lower end of $4,000 a month, you can pay for a bathroom, an extensive bathroom renovation quite quickly.
It would pay for itself, that's over $50,000. Well, that's around $50,000 a year, because that's just basic, the $4,000. $50,000 a year, think about it.
Yeah.
If you've got a paid off house, so you've got taxes, utilities, you can put some money into this and you're still money ahead.
And not to mention that we want to be in our homes.
We do.
It's our home.
With our gardens and our, and our familiar stuff and our space and all the rest. I agree with you, absolutely. Certainly what crossed my mind over the last couple of years, and that's why I made the move that I did. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea too of meaningful access for all people who come to your home too. Sometimes homes are not accessible for other people to come visit.
Well, that's a thought. I hadn't really thought about that. I think of, it's got to work for me, but of course your friends are getting older too. And oh, of course.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So it's not just, we don't have homes that are necessarily designed I would say the average home isn't designed with accessibility in mind, right? And so accessibility is also about equity. Equity for all people who are going to use that space. So I think it's important that we consider others as well, and that when we invite them into our home, that regardless of their ability or life circumstance, they can come and feel welcome. Right?
Absolutely. And you mentioned also before we started rolling that the Hansen Foundation.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So I recently did some training with the Rick Hansen Foundation, and the Rick Hansen Foundation is at the forefront of making Canada more accessible. And so the training I completed with them is part of my learning experience in understanding how the world can be more accessible, how Kingston can be more accessible. And so it gave me the tools to be able to identify in commercial, industrial, and residential applications where a space can be improved to have more meaningful access.
That is terrific. I wish you every success, and if people want to reach out to you and find out what you can do for them, we've got your information on the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's really been nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.